photograph in which we were in love, caught in your eyes, waiting for the sunrise. I barely even knew who you were. What did you do? I didn't care, 'cause you were perfect, I swear. But somebody told me that it's over. I know it's true. You made me happy for a while. I remember.
What is going on YouTube? My cowlick is, well, it is what it is. Let's go over and look at the calendar. We're already in March. It's March 3rd. Hopefully I'm looking a little bit better. Last video I did, I believe it was about us testing positive for COVID-19, or the V, as Chemo Dave likes to call it. So, stumbled across this channel. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, give the video a like if you like it, give it an unlike if you don't like it. It doesn't matter. So, you guys are thinking about doing van life in 2021. Right now, here in Wichita, Kansas, gas, I think I filled up one of our Dodge Rams. It cost me about $45. Gas is $2.58 right now. Now we have travel places like last time we were on the road where we did the Pacific Northwest, we did Washington State, Oregon, Wyoming, Montana, and gas was over $3, close to $4 up there. And this was before the pandemic. This was in 2018. We were planning to go back out on the road, and then last March everything just basically hit the fan. So we've stayed here in Kansas through the whole pandemic. And do I see gas prices rising? Yes, even more. I think we're going to be close to what gas was during the Obama administration, which is close to $4 a gallon, or $5 a gallon. Here's my thing that I've noticed, and a lot of other channels have talked about this. You really this isn't like before the pandemic, and we used to just travel, at a whim. Like, we went from Texas all the way up to Oregon and Washington State, and did that in about 2 to 3 days. Because we wanted to go back down to Galveston, and we couldn't find any places down in Galveston, so we went near the Corpus Christi area, and we didn't really like that area that well. Now, think about 2021. This is just a forbidding warning. Everything's booked. It's really hard to find campsites, even here locally. And we have lakes here in Kansas. Like we usually camp out at a place called Lake Afton, which is kind of close to us. We're on the west side of Wichita, so we go out to Lake Afton a lot. I think we were out there Memorial Day, and the place was just freaking packed during the pandemic. From what I've seen, everything's going to be booked, and it's going to be really tricky getting campsites if you do that way. A lot of people boondock. We've only boondocked like twice, and it's in the same place, Flagler, Colorado. There's a wildlife reserve there, and the water's been dried up there for probably a decade or longer. And we, on our way to Denver, or the areas around Denver, we'll spend a night there because they do have basically a toilet there. They have no showers. And probably because of COVID, that toilet's probably locked, and there's no water source out there either. They have that locked off. A lot of people can go out and boondock, I can't. We can do it for a night, 2 nights, because when we travel, we don't use like the RV components of our van. We just use the bed and the power to be hooked up and like AC to run, and that's about it. So, we've been looking at either doing one or two things, and it'll probably be just about a 1 to 2 week trip this time. We're not going to really fully hit the road like we had in the last couple of years that we did this for 4 to 5 months at a time. We're looking to either go down south and visit my family down in Georgia, or do what we originally planned to do before COVID hit, which is take a month trip all the way up to Maine. Because I've never been to Maine, we haven't explored that part of the United States yet. So I did a little bit of research, because I was looking at the KOAs up there in that area, and the RV parks and the state campgrounds and Arcadia National Park and all that. And everything I could find. And we use RV parking. That's what we use while we're on the road to find campsites. Everything's booked. You can call to see if somebody canceled their reservation at the last moment, but there's no point in driving all the way from Kansas to Maine and hopefully getting an RV spot. Another thing is RV sales has skyrocketed during the pandemic because nobody can really... There are some people that have figured out how to travel internationally, like Lost LeBlanc and the Travel Bum. They're in Brazil right now, I believe. They figured out how to do it. There are ways to do it. Having a negative test, for COVID is one of them, within 72 hours. And seeing if the countries open up to, Americans or Canadians or, wherever you're from. Would I recommend it? No. It's just not feasible right now. It's hard to even find a conversion van for sale online. We bought our van like 4 years ago for $10,000. If I really wanted to sell that van right now, in the condition it's in, after it being stolen, driven through the fence, everything that happened to it, I could get $20,000 to $25,000. That's how in high demand these older Class B vans are. And then you see everybody, just put in Sprinter van as a search on YouTube. Come up all these builds. And see, what people don't understand is the whole thing about van life and traveling, it's expensive. And you need to have a big savings account, a big emergency fund. Because stuff will happen on the road. Just like it will happen sticks and bricks. There's always going to be an emergency in life that will happen. So, let's look at this, okay? Everybody's doing all these Sprinter van conversions, even, conversion van conversions, in the campers. They're hard to find. RV sales are just, as soon as they're selling them rapidly. There's hardly any place to camp. We're going to try to go out to Lake Afton probably here next couple of weeks. My wife's birthday is coming up, and I think she'd like to maybe do that. And it's close enough to our jobs where we can get back in town fairly quickly. So we're going to try. Just do a little experiment. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to hit the road right now. Gas prices, no camping spots. It's a bad idea. And with our van, this is normal gas prices, say like $1.50, $1.90. it still costs almost $100 to fill our van up from empty because we have a 30-gallon tank in that van. So, anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Stay safe and be nice to each other.